Hello, welcome to Mr. Creek's class. We have today we have 10th grade Orange group. They are going to teach us how to write the rhetorical essay. So one moment and we're going to get started.
Hello, I'm Abdullah. My name is Abdullah and I'll be presenting the Orange group today. And the first thing is I'm going to start talking about is the elements of rhetorical strategy. The rhetorical strategy is an argumentative text. The author uses two basic elements to her strategy. Hello, my name is Abdullah and today I'll run through in the steps of the rhetorical writing process. First, I'm going to talk about the elements of the rhetorical strategy, then I'm going to talk about the working outline, then I'm going to talk about the direct quotation, and then paraphrasing and summary. What are the elements of the rhetorical strategy? Appeals, how the author presents the argument. It's like how the author explains how he writes and stuff. And styles, tools, how the author presents the information to the in this argument. The main elements or general elements: pathos, appealing to emotion; ethos, appealing to facts and examples; logos, appealing to logical and of the logic of the audience. And then what is the working outline? Outline is a working outline is a group of organized sub-ideas, points, examples, evidence that detail and plan for what thoughts how to extend discussion on a specific topic, enabling the reader to have a reference thought out of the development of the research essay in order to successfully reach the particular conclusion. It practically means that you put the outline is what you put together, like everything you have put together. the paraphrasing. The paraphrasing is like putting things in your own words, like reading it out of place and then writing it in your own words or speaking in your own words. Like example, if you write a passage from someone whose work is in their own words, you have to write it in your own words. So to maintain a specific style in your reading, writing, so it's like to make it in your own words. To simplify material, okay, to simplify material that is difficult guide by, as in, like if the, if the person writes something that you can't explain, you can put it in their words in direct quotes, which is, that's fun. Summarizing is when you when you take a passage or it's too long and then you write it effectively. You write it in your own words or quote it using and then you put in the general ideas or the main ideas and then make it like you put it in your own words, but you put the main ideas and stuff in it. And then I'm talking about the MLA format, which stands for Modern Language Association, which is a logical system. If you use any information or idea outside the source, you must quote the source exactly or rewrite the information in 100% of words. It's practically paraphrasing, but use its own. Direct quotation. Direct quotation is using the source, using words exactly from the source. It's copied exactly like how it is, and it's word by word and surrounded with quotation marks. And the page number should always be in at the end of the sentence. It's just like example. If I got a quote from Walden or something, I'd write like Henry David Thoreau, the author, and then I write the page number and like at the end of the sentence. And then then direct quotation, quote introduction, making a quote etc. Within the sentence. Quote introduction is like when you start out a sentence with. You start out a quote. You start a sentence with a quote. You start out the sentence with a quote, and then you talk mainly about that quote. And then quote blending is when you take the quote and then you break it up and put it into a sentence in pieces. And that's all I did. Today I am working and I'm speaking about the steps of the writing, the steps of the rhetorical writing process. I'm going to speak of the elements of the rhetorical strategy, and I'm also going to speak about the working outline. First, I'm going to speak about the elements of the rhetorical strategies. Like example, appeals, how the author presents the argument. Style or tools. Styles or tools, how the author presents the information or in the argument, like how the author explains himself. Right? And then main ideas or general main ideas or general ideas. Pathos, example, pathos appealing to the emotion, which is like when he's appealing to only, he's using only emotion. He's using only emotional, he's not using any facts or anything. And then ethos, only using facts and examples. We're reading a non-fictional book. We talk completely about facts and evidence. It would be an ethos. It use the ethos. And then logos, using logic from the audience, like completely. Using complete logic from the audience, he based his stuff. He bases his stuff by his audience. What is a working outline? Working outline is a group of sub-organized ideas, points and examples, evidence that detail and plan for a well thought out, extended discussion. As in, it's some main ideas and ideas put together to talk about an extended discussion, and then discussion and specific topic, enabling the reader to have a reference to the thought. As I explains what's the difference between what he's writing and what the author. Paraphrasing is like you basically using your own words in the, like you read it and then you use your own words for it. And then you write, like you use a paragraph or use a passage or something using your own words. You maintain your style, but you keep it in your own words. And then you also use locate the main idea and the supporting details. Summarizing. So use a summary when summarizing is when you take a whole passage that's like way too long and then you put it together and make it like in your own words. You put it in your own words. And then you have to keep the general idea and main idea without taking out the meaning of the paragraph or sentence. And summarizing, you use your own words. Use it from the source, in the source, like as in the summarizing between summarizing and paraphrasing. With summarizing, you take a whole entire passage, and paraphrasing, you take a passage and then you shorten it and put it together. But paraphrasing, you use it completely out of your own words. You take the author's writing and then you put it in your own words completely. And then in paraphrasing, you don't keep any of the main ideas. You explain it yourself. The MLA format. MLA format is you use the information from out of MLA format is like when you write something and then you put it, like you write it from a different author or a book or something. You have to put it in brackets at the end of the quote. You have to put it in brackets and write the author's name and the number of the page. And it has to be your own. It has to be your own sentence structure. Emily's format search for modern languages. This helps in an essay because you have to write everything in your own words using. You can use direct quotations. You can use like direct quotations, but that's like in the author's words, so you have to use your own words. That's the difference between analytic format and paraphrasing. Direct quotation. The source, direct quotation is the exact words. The source is exact words, so you got it from exactly the words. And then it's copied exactly like that. It's word by word. You can't like change. You can't change the words, or else it's not direct quotation. It's paraphrasing. The difference between direct quotation and paraphrasing is paraphrasing. You use it completely. Paraphrasing, you use it completely out of your own words. Direct quotation, you take it. Direct quotation, you give it straight out of the author's own words. And then there's types of direct quotation. The quotation, quote introduction. Quote introduction is when you put the quote in front of the sentence. Like example, I put a quote of an author in front of the sentence. That's quote, the main part of the whole entire sentence. And then it's only brief. It's really brief, so it's like 2 to 3 words. And then quote blending. Uh, Quote blending is like taking apart the quote and putting it in your sentence piece by piece, and adding a quote in the middle of the sentence. It's like putting a quote in the middle of the sentence. And that's how much I did. I'm sorry, and that's so true.